You may begin, Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. I call this meeting the Archaeological Review Committee of November 20th, 2025 to order, and we have the roll call, please.
Member Treese,
Present.
Chair Eck,
Present.
Member Bechtel.
Present.
Thank you, Chair. You have a quorum.
Just barely. Thank you.
Thank you.
First item for us to consider is approval of agenda.
Chair Eck, Easy Fiber will not be attending this meeting. They will present at a different at another time.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Members, anything for
No more changes?
No member. Thank
would like to make a minor modification to item F? The indicated subsurface irrigation line would be stricken and replaced with French drains, because I see no mention of irrigation lines anywhere in the submission.
Right. Frenching.
That was the only thing I noticed. After motion.
I move that we accept the agenda with the changes made to 5A and 7F.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We have no minutes before us, therefore we will move to item 5, matters from the floor, and we've just been assured that that's not going to happen. Passing that to item 6, old business, we have case number 2025-11209. Ron Winters, agent for Tim Sanchez and Anytime Plumbing and Sewer LLC, applicant, requests approval of an archaeological monitoring report for the installation of 24 feet 6 inches of new sewer line at 411 West San Francisco Street in the historic downtown archaeological review district. Thank you for your staff report, Paul. Anything you want to change in there?
No, Chair. Thank you, sir.
I have one item to offer. The penultimate sentence in your background and summary refers to a highly disturbed refuse pit. That word is not used in the submission. It is a refuse deposit. That is all that I noted on the staff report. We have a presenter in physical form, needs to be identified and sworn in.
Please raise your right hand. Your name and address for the record.
Ron Winters, 109 Calle Paula, Santa Fe, New Mexico, 87505.
Do you solemnly declare and affirm that the testimony you have in reference to this item shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, and do this under the penalties of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. Chair, you've been sworn in.
You have the floor, Ron. What do we need to know that you haven't already told us?
Well, first, I want to apologize for not being here October. As I told Gayla, my wife insisted that I spend my birthday in Cabo San Lucas and not at the ARC meeting because it was my 75th.
Congratulations.
How solemn.
I did find, David, it wasn't just Alicia that I left out in the references. I did that to myself this time. I was referencing the project I did at the intersection of Guadalupe and West San Francisco, but I noted after the fact that I did not put that reference in the references, that report in the references. I referenced it in the report, but it's not in the back.
Okay, I'll take that sticky note out.
The other thing is, I did not use that site number that I had used because the dates didn't coincide, and also the distance, approximately 50 meters apart. the trash that I found at this location, seemed isolated and not related to what I had found, on that previous project. I guess that's it. I think the rest of it's self-explanatory.
Okay. Member Trees, you're at bat.
I just had one comment, which was I didn't, and we had a lot of stuff to go through this week. I didn't notice that, given that your pits basically on either side of the street were pretty deep, and you found some stuff. I didn't notice where and maybe this is just I didn't notice where you located any of that debris that you found, that any of the artifacts, I should call it debris.
Yeah.
But when you take out a scoop, do you sift each scoop, or do you just go through the pile?
No, the pile.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I normally, I don't know that if I didn't do that this time, in the profile will show what stratum, the stuff came out of. This was heavily disturbed because at the bottom of the trench, as I state, there was a utility line.
Right.
So this stuff had been dug
Mixed up.
up, churned, excavated, put back in the hole. Yeah.
Mhm. So does that, some of that you could historically probably figure out where it came from, or, like the glass and pottery,
Yeah, but what
what's the
diagnostics?
point?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, the diagnostics will give you a relative date, and that's what if you don't have the stratified site, you can, pin certain, well, like this later project, you'll see, I could identify the artifacts that came out of there to a certain time and event,
Right,
in the
right.
city. This was not the case.
The other thing that I noticed you said this before on reports, and maybe I'm just trying to refresh my brain on some of that stuff, is you don't recommend further work. And is that just at that specific location, not necessarily the whole property, but just
Yeah,
those both sides of the street going
Right.
under?
yeah. Yeah, I think, the information that could be gleaned was, from the excavations.
How did they get did they tunnel, or did they blast it with water? How did they do
No,
that?
it was this guy's hand digging
Oh, wow.
underneath, but so I saw that, yeah, I know, I could see the dirt then, as he's
Yeah.
pulling it out and dumping it in the back dirt,
Yeah,
sometimes they do use water,
yeah.
but in this case, they were actually hand digging it, and bringing the dirt back, out of the hole, and then, up and over into the back.
Suppose OSHA runs that.
Oh, would not believe the violations I've seen. I'm always in my hard hat.
I
With a
do
ladder.
enjoy your commentary on work.
Oh, God. I have to restrain myself sometimes because
That's what helps you with your charges.
but David can attest to this. You've been there, Steve. You guys know what I'm talking about.
That's all.
Also, Member Beckler.
I had no comment.
Only one, Ron.
Okay.
Did you found yourself unable to measure the length of the brass screws in the boot heel you found?
That's a good question. I certainly was intrigued by them, as you saw. I don't know that I did measure them. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Given leather shrinkage, you could at least arrive at a minimum length and a maximum length for the same.
Right.
See how that fits in with your other dimensional information.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't know that I come across that before. I mean, have you seen that, the screws?
Why is it clinched nails?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why it was counted unusual. With that, as you would say, a rabbit hole, with the, you know. Cause that's the fun part.
That is all. We can have a motion.
I move that we accept 2025-011-209 monitoring report on the excavation at 411 West San Francisco.
Moved and seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Just to make it easier perhaps, but you need not repeat the entire thing, because I've read it into the record already, it's on the agenda. If you just refer to the case number,
Which
would
is
be
after
okay.
2025.
okay. Simplify
I'm a little
the
rookie at this, you know, I missed the guy that used to sit here.
Yes, and he always tried to say the whole thing. So, moved and seconded, have we had a vote?
We did.
So we can move on to new business.
Chair Eck, pardon the interruption. Prior to moving on to new business, if I could make a last minute change to the agenda, please. Could we move administrative matters and communications up so Director Lamboy can give us some information before she heads out?
As in, right now?
Before we move on to new business, yes. Can we move the administrative matters up on the agenda?
I'm certainly amenable to that.
Or did you approve the agenda already?
Yes, Robert's Rules of Order, we have to go back and reopen that and,
I'll write an email. It's just regarding last night.
okay,
Don't want to mess that up.
thank you. We all heard third hand what happened.
No special favors here.
Right.
It's just complicated.
No, I know.
I can't remember all the niggling procedures that have to be followed. So apologies to those of you who are here to present cases. The new business commences with applicants for listing on the city's list of approved archaeologists and historians, who I assume are mostly in attendance online.
Who was your first one? Edgar?
Edgar Vasquez.
I don't see an Edgar Vasquez.
I'm gonna call him under.
Do we have a applicant? Please raise your hand. Edward Vasquez,
Edgar,
Edgar Vasquez.
Vasquez.
Move to the next one.
See nobody.
You could always move it to the end if you want to.
if he fills up, we can wrap back to him. So seeing no applicant present, we will move on to case number 2025-11499. Jeff Fredine, applicant, requests approval for listing as an archaeologist for the River and Trails and Suburban Archaeological Review Districts and historian on the City of Santa Fe's list of approved archaeologists and historians. He is in attendance online.
Jeff, if you can unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me?
We can. Please be sworn in.
Hi, Jeff. Can you please state your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is Jeff Fredine, and my company address, don't have my card right in front of me. My home address is 1237 Lafayette Drive, Northeast Albuquerque, 87106.
Thank you. Do you solemnly declare and affirm that the testimony you have in reference to this item shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, and do this under the penalties of perjury?
Yes, I do so swear.
Thank you, Chair. He's been sworn in.
Thank you, Jeff. We give you the floor to tell us anything that you feel you need to add to what you've already provided.
The let's see, I have been permitted in these positions in the past and it just expired. We're trying to get the permits renewed. And I apologize to the committee. I didn't realize that I don't have a formal presentation in mind. But if the committee has any questions about my resume or table or experience, I'm very happy to address any questions or concerns.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. And just to clarify for everyone, the permits you refer to are indeed with the state, not the city. This is just a list of approved personnel. It is not a permit per se.
Yes, thank you for the clarification. Yes.
All right. Member Beck.
So we've had this question before about, we're looking at the archaeology part, we're not looking at the historian part. Is that correct?
Well, in this case, we have to look at each of them somewhat separately.
But are we the committee that decides that a historian is on the list of approved?
We are.
I didn't know that. I don't remember that. I thought we had expressly said we weren't the historian, that we were not designating historians, only archaeologists.
I believe what the discussion was, and I could be wrong, but what it was is that if they weren't on the historian list, chair didn't want and the members didn't want to see that on the caption as for the historians, but we are, according to the code, it is for all the historian archaeologists, the historian, and the
Straight archaeology.
yes. So that is.
We apologize for that
We're not.
earlier confusion, but I wanted to make a point of correct language on the report
The agenda.
of application.
Right.
And in this case, Mr. Ferdine is indeed applied to be listed under both functions,
Okay. I don't have any questions for him.
right?
Thank you.
Number three.
Since I looked at the electronic version of the application, I noticed that one of the pages was upside down, and that was a comment. It was page 32 of the PDF, which was page 11 of his application. I didn't know that we, because I'm still sort of the greenhorn on this, that somebody could have a combined application. I would think that would make it easier to have an application for historian, because then you could have your list of qualifications and publications so that we don't have to sort out which would be a historical and which would be an archaeological publication. That's me not knowing. And it has nothing to do with his particular qualifications. I think he's highly qualified, and I don't really have anything other to say.
Okay. Thank you for making that point, and that might be something we want to consider in future. To segregate the function one from the other so that there are two applications to make sure that numbers are easy to present and interpret.
I really enjoyed his report on the historical Route 66. I mean, that was fun to read.
Thank you.
Because when I was 11 years old, we came through Albuquerque on Route 66 down Central through Tijeras Canyon on Central and back out. And I remember looking back and seeing all the neon, and I'd never seen neon like that growing up in the Midwest. And it was like Fairyland. It was amazing to me. And it was one of those things I just never forgot.
Very well. Jeff, I don't have any questions or comments whatsoever. So we will entertain a motion.
Let me get back to it. Got one, right? I move to approve Jeffrey Gerdine, as he's requesting a listing as an archaeologist for the river and trails and suburban archaeology districts and historian on the city of Santa Fe's list of approved archaeologists and historians.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Welcome, Jeffrey. We look forward to cleaning up in front of you.
Thank you. I look forward to working with the committee.
Good. We try to be easy to work with. In spite of rumors you may have heard contrary.
I've only heard good things.
Well, you're probably hanging out in politer company than I do.
In Albuquerque.
So, Paul, was there any success?
Yes. Edgar Vasquez is there.
Would you wish to move back to that case
Can
now,
just-
Chair?
Get back in order here.
Yes, sir.
Case number 2025-11494. Edgar Vasquez, applicant, requests approval for listing of an archaeologist for the river and trails and suburban archaeological review districts on the city of Santa Fe's list of approved archaeologists and historians. We have everything in front of us, staff report. Anything to say, Paul?
No, Chair. Thank you.
All right. We have Mr. Vasquez, you'll need to be identified and sworn in.
Will you please state your name and address for the record?
Mr. Vasquez, please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I'm having a little bit of audio issues.
We can now. Go ahead and get sworn in.
Yes, my name is Edgar Vasquez. That's my name. My address is 1730 Natick Court, Waxahachie, Texas.
Do you solemnly declare and affirm that the testimony you have in reference to this item shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, and do this under the penalties of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. There, he's been sworn.
Edgar, do you have anything you wish to say in addition to what you've already submitted?
No, sir.
All right, we'll go to committee consideration. Member Trees.
I have no questions.
Okay, Member Bechtel.
I just realized that some of the experience is not in New Mexico.
It's southwest, I think. Isn't it?
Yeah, this table reflects the same approach as done for state consideration. They do consider and value experience in areas immediately adjacent to the state,
Okay, all right.
so it counts.
It counts, okay. No questions.
All right, and I guess my only question is, it's a long way from where you are in Texas to Santa Fe. If somebody needs something done tomorrow, how is that
Yes,
gonna work?
No, it is a long way. We have a good relationship with a lot of our clients that prefer to use us, to like our services. So we try to, do our best, and we're pretty, I would say we're New Mexico archaeologists that just happen to live in Texas.
All right, fair enough. I have nothing further. We can have a motion.
I move that we accept the application of Edgar Vasquez, case number 011494, as a listing for archaeology and rivers and trails and suburban review districts.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Edgar. If you do make the trip up here to do something, please bring some Tex-Mex with you.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best and then bring some brisket as well.
And say the barbecue is what he's.
All right.
Thank you, Edgar.
Thank you all for your time. I appreciate it.
Next case is 2025-11502, Stephen Kilgore. Applicant requests approval for listing as an archaeologist for the River and Trails and Suburban Archaeological Review Districts on the City of Santa Fe's list of approved archaeologists and historians. Here's Kathy Fort Paul. Anything to add?
No, Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Kilgore, you'll have to be identified and sworn in, please.
Will you please state your name and address for the record, Stephen?
Yes, my name is Stephen Kilgore. My address is 131 Don Quixote Court in Corrales, New Mexico, 87408.
Do you solemnly declare and affirm that the testimony you have in reference to this item shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, and do this under the penalties of perjury?
I do.
Thank you very much. Charity's been sworn in.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Stephen, anything you need to add or expand upon in what you've already submitted?
I think it's pretty much all there. I've been working in the Southwest, specifically New Mexico, since 2008 when I moved out here for grad school.
All right. Being a rock knocker, I'm always interested in articles or theses about chipped stone. So thank you for the good read. I also saw a lot of good friends and colleagues listed in the references cited. So I didn't get to play out in that country, but they did.
Well, thank you. I'm always appreciative when somebody's actually seeing my writing.
Well, and we greatly appreciate the submittal because in the past we've had folks submit less than useful examples. So while the full thesis was a bit much in terms of paper, it's appreciated. So, Amanda Bechtel,
Had no comment.
and Truth.
No questions.
Okay, and so therefore it's unanimous. We don't have anything to query you about. We can have a motion.
I move that we accept the applicant for archaeologist for rivers and trails, suburban and archaeological review districts, and we I guess that's it, huh?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. It's a shorter trip from Corrales than it is from Texas, so maybe we'll see you earlier than.
I'm up there quite a bit, so.
All right, thank you, sir. Case number 2025-11503, Kent Mead, applicant requests approval for listing as an archaeologist for the River and Trails and Suburban Archaeological Review Districts on the City of Santa Fe's list of approved archaeologists and historians. Thank you for your staff report. Paul, anything you want to add?
No, Chair. Thank you.
Mead is in attendance online, so we'll have to unmute, be identified and sworn in.
Mr. Mead, go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Kent. Can you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Kent Mead. My address is 832 Quincy Street Northeast. That's in Albuquerque, 87110.
Thank you. Do you solemnly declare and affirm that the testimony you have in reference to this item shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, and do this under the penalties of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. Chair, he's been sworn in.
Thank you. So Kent, you have the floor. Do you need to add anything to your submittal?
No, I have nothing to add.
All right, thank you, sir. Member Trees?
I really enjoyed reading this. I'm just wondering how things have changed between 2018 and 2025 with this, with respect to your monograph.
Oh, well, quite a bit. And I regret to say I haven't been able to keep up with the using the technology directly, but we are, as a company trying to implement that photogrammetry and drone-based remote sensing and documentation. But as I'm able to keep up with it, it has changed quite a bit, and it's an interesting skill set to have, but I haven't really been able to dive into it as much as I would like to in a professional setting.
So your monograph isn't, or your submittal isn't so much what you do currently.
No, I am more traditional cultural resource management practitioner.
Well, thank you.
Member Beck?
Comment.
20 years ago, I wanted to do what you were doing, but I couldn't afford all the toys. So I stuck with putting dirt in my mouth, rolling clay coils, and sticking artifacts in there as well, to the great alarm of everybody that I worked with, because, gee, you don't know what's on those artifacts. And I don't until I taste them.
I've known quite a few archaeologists from New Mexico that have done that as a way to feel the flake morphology. So it's a very unique matter of practice for the Southwest, I think.
Sorry, I'm from Kansas, and
Oh, okay. Well,
miles there too.
plains too.
Tell the difference between mud and sherds by sticking it in your mouth.
Oh, for sure.
One melts faster than the other. All right, that's all. We can have a motion.
That we accept Kent Mead, applicant, in case number 011503, in his application for archaeologists for rivers and trails and suburban archaeology review districts in Santa Fe.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried unanimously. Welcome aboard. We look
Thank you,
forward to
everybody.
seeing-
Thank you, Ken.
Case number 2025-11504, Lindsay Mitchell, applicant requests approval for listing as an archaeologist for the River and Trails and Suburban Archaeological Review Districts on the City of Santa Fe's list of approved archaeologists, archaeologists and historians. Thank you for the staff report, Paul. Anything to add?
No, Chair. Thank you, sir.
Lindsay is in attendance online, unmute, and be sworn in.
Hi, Lindsay. Can you please state your full name and address for the record?
Yes, this is Lindsay Mitchell, and my address is 6009 Calle Ocho Northwest, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Thank you. Do you solemnly declare and affirm that the testimony you have in reference to this item shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, and do this under the penalties of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. Chair, she's been sworn in.
Thank you. Lindsay, you have the floor. If there's anything you want to add to your application.
I don't think so. I don't.
All right, then we will move on to committee consideration. I have forgotten who went first last time, so Member Beckley.
I don't have comments.
Thank you. Member Priest.
I have a question about procedure. It seems to me that, an archaeologist needs a permit for human burial. Is that correct?
Chair Eck, Member Treese, that is correct. They get vetted by the CPRC and the state shipper.
And maybe this is just put numbers in the wrong column, but I didn't see any certification in her application for human burials, and yet she says there are quite a few days of human burial excavation. I'm just wanting to clarify that. Does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense. Lindsay, you might want to hold forth about the status of state listing versus experience versus your intentions in Santa Fe.
I shouldn't have marked anything for human burial. I don't have a human burial permit or.
So they were just in the wrong column.
Yeah, it would have been marked in the wrong column then.
Okay. Okay, point of clarification. Good for me, good enough for me, I guess, at this point. Let's see. Yeah, that was the only point I had on reading this.
All right. I don't have anything substantive, but I would like to hear you explain the subtle difference between the two different types of roofing materials that you discussed in your thesis.
Wait, what? You want me to discuss
Well,
my thesis?
I'm just curious about the two different types of roofing tiles that you mentioned at some length, somewhere in the middle, and I'm not seeing the page at the moment. But you
Roofing
stated that the majority were X rather than Y, and the point being, I just want you to explicate a little bit.
Oh gosh, I don't even remember.
All right, that's okay. I'm just indulging in another childhood dream of being a classical archaeologist.
I'm glad it wasn't a roofer.
Having
Yeah,
way too much.
I could not tell you what the difference between the tiles were that we were excavating from over 10 years ago. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I wish I
enough.
could tell you. I remember that. I really do.
it wasn't supposed to be a snipe. It was just a curiosity question.
No, I wish my memory was that good though. It's not though, unfortunately.
Well, it'll give me something to do research.
Yes. I think
And,
that whole
there-
report is somewhere online from all of the year. I think there was like 8 years of excavations at that site. So it's somewhere in the ether if you wanted to find out.
Excellent, thank you. So we are done. We can have a motion.
I move that in case 011504, Lindsay Mitchell applicant be approved for living as an archaeologist in the rivers and trails and suburban archaeological review districts in the city of Santa Fe.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
One ream of paper down.
I'm
You
just
ready?
gonna stand up. I
Okay.
just need to stand up.
Item F on the agenda, case number 2025-11505. Ron Winters, agent from Michael Welch, applicant requests approval of an archaeological monitoring plan for the installation of 140 feet of subsurface French drain lines at 409 Canyon Road in the historic downtown archaeological review district. We have a staff report from Paul, who's not here to have me wheedling about difference between irrigation and French drains. But we'll just move. Next time you get one of these, button the hole in and say, how big's the pipe? Pipe the same dimension the whole way from start to finish.
Right.
How wide a trench do you need? How deep does it need to be? Or how deep can it be?
Right.
Give them the 20 questions
Got it.
and
Yeah.
stick it in there so that we.
Yeah. Well, I think a part of it, I think, was them deciding on the fly, you know, what it was going to entail. I mean, I did get depth, I mean, but yeah, in terms of pipe diameter or the bedding, you know, that was not explained. Yeah.
Fair enough. Number 3.
I'm curious as to why he thinks he can only go 18 inches. Is that, whose rule is that?
I don't know. Maybe whoever in the city he's talking to, you know, that
Our chief.
Had you ever heard that?
Said no.
No, I don't know why he would go 18 inches, but I mean, a foot would suffice.
yeah. Well, no, I think, Paul, he said they couldn't go any deeper than 18 inches.
Or the
Not-
gravel? Maybe it's just the gravel soils.
Yeah.
The soils are pretty rocky. Because you did the one at 600 Canyon Road and that was very rocky.
Yeah.
Maybe that was why.
Yeah. But that was the limit as, you know, so how the region could go.
So perhaps they already know that they hit river cobbles at 18 inches.
Yeah.
In which case I would take the whole thing to be 18 inches and you've got instant drain. It's cobbles.
Yeah.
And then the overflow can go down
Yeah.
downstream to the pond or whatever they call that thing there. Anything else?
Yeah. Seems pretty sketchy to me. The whole plan seems kind of sketchy.
When we talked to the property owner, you know, he was giving me this kind of roundabout deal that, oh yeah, it's all developed, everything's been built on, and it doesn't need archaeological clearance. I've already been there, you know. Well, sir, let's go take a look at it. Oh, no, I don't know if that's the case. And so he was just trying to do it underhanded. So we caught him at the permit process. And he was like, sir, if you exceed this linear footage, you gotta have an archaeologist out here. And so that's what triggered. So he was trying to dig without a permit, construction permit, so that our inspector brought him in, and that's what triggered. So I would say, you're smelling
What you saw.
yeah,
What you heard.
what we're stepping in. Yeah,
Yeah.
you see it.
And I got it too. I mean, you know, he came back to me and I said, no, you're exceeding the limit, you know,
Right.
you have to have an archaeologist present. And Paul confirmed that, you know.
Right.
And it's the same song and dance. Oh, you know.
I mean, speaking from somebody who's had experience with grading and drainage, they don't have this worked out. They're just throwing money back, you know? I mean, none of it makes sense to me. None of it.
Their contractor was in here at 8 a.m. trying to pull the permit. And I told him, sir, your case is going before the ARC this afternoon. So just hold on. I'll send you the ARC action notice.
I'll keep an eye on them.
So, you know, I think all we're supposed to be concerned about is archaeology. But I'm a contractor who's dealt with drainage. I know what's going on here. This ain't gonna work.
You might want to contact his owner to give him some help.
Well, I mean, you know, usually,
Sure.
there's calculations for roof drainage.
Yes.
It's not that, it is kind of science
It is.
after, and I know for a fact that the rains that we've had have changed over the years, and you just can't go winging it and expect it to not still flood your property.
Cause they're getting water in the basement, right?
Right.
That's what I heard.
Well,
Well,
you get what you pay for.
an exception of you.
Yeah.
That's right.
You may end up going back there to fix it, to do it, just view it again when they fix it.
Well, these guys, I have to commend the city, the guys that are out there in the streets looking at what's going on. You know, I mean, it's made a big difference. You know, they've caught some huge violations, you know, people trying to do stuff without
Understanding what they're doing.
or even, you know, permits. I mean, we've seen that too.
It's at the permit side, but also we've seen an influx of people coming in on the front end. Cause on this first report that Ron presented was only for 24 feet. But when I was contacted by the utility company and reviewing it on Nimcrest and the locations of site distribution on that street, and a recent burial that we came across, it was, you need to have monitoring on this street, no matter where you're digging on the street. And the contractor was very, very open. He didn't push back. He said, you just tell me what I need to do and I'll get it done. Yeah. Okay. Well, they got a break in the center of the street. Get an archaeologist on contract today. I'll give you an emergency administrative approval so you can get this fixed immediately, and then come back to the ARC with a final report of your findings and so forth. As long as it gets monitored and you're not doing it without a permit. Yeah. So we've been seeing on the other side of the spectrum where contractors are having a little more trust in us and the archaeologists that are doing the work. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
We're trying to build that rapport, and we're starting to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
But I can't thank them enough
Yeah.
because they're on the street and they see what's going on, you know. Yeah,
I
and
think there's just a lot of contractors that don't know what the rules are anymore.
store care.
Yeah. A motion?
Let's go.
I have a comment.
I was just waiting to
I'm
see if you
waiting.
were done. Sorry, Rebecca.
So I know this building.
Yes.
Is this the bit it's in front of the Tibet, the Tibetans, they're back here?
Mm-hmm.
So, how could there be any archaeology to be found when this basement was built in 1992? And so anything that was right here, where this yellow is against the building, it's a subterranean, space. So I don't know why any archaeology is necessary there.
Well, that's exactly what the owner tried to.
Well, that's true.
Well,
It was excavated. It was a basement apartment
right.
in 1992, and then they filled it in over the years, and I don't know what it is now. But it's really it's from here to the catch basin is the only place that's going to reveal anything that hasn't already been disturbed.
In reference to that, Gail, I would say, just like, you know, on 411,
Yeah, you're lying.
there was a utility line ran in the bottom of that trench and there were artifacts. So just because it had been disturbed doesn't mean there
There's
isn't.
not something in it.
Yeah, because they would have just
Put it back in.
put the fill back in.
Okay.
So I understand your point.
Yeah.
It's a valid point.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there's nothing there.
Okay. All right. Thanks. That's all I have. I think we're just one of the things.
Thank you for setting the stage, because I was going to hold forth on that very subject. Because just because it's been built on, doesn't mean there's no concern. One person's always all disturbed to the point where there's nothing possible left is scratch the surface and there's a gold mine of archaeology for the next 5 feet as you go down, because it's all disturbed. Archaeology, by definition, is previous human disturbance of the landscape.
Yeah. Okay.
Disturbance is not necessarily an absence.
Doesn't necessarily invalidate.
How about the convention center?
So,
It's all been disturbed, but
Yeah.
10 feet down, it's still going. So And 6 inches away, Paul mentioned earlier the concern for a burial having been found nearby on the street. We have had numerous examples of things in the downtown where somebody put in a utility and gee, the monitor didn't find anything. And the next person goes in literally 6 inches away and there's 2 buried.
Mm.
So the fact that somebody has done something doesn't mean that the next person isn't going to do some damage. Ever. You just don't ever let anybody tell you that, oh, it's all disturbed and we don't have to do anything. That's not the case. The actual nature of the disturbance itself could be very significant. And if of a certain antiquity, very, very significant.
And then the archival research that's not here on page 32, is that acceptable? It just says we're gonna do it.
The opportunity to do that research is really handicapped at the moment. And I imagine what you're going to do is call on your old buddy and have him
That's what
work
he
his
says.
magic.
Yeah, no,
So it's acceptable that we accept this, knowing that it will be done for the report.
It's
the final report. Yeah.
acceptable. It's not ideal. We can yell and scream to county all day and we're not going to get anywhere, so I give up. I'm done trying to get them to make life easier.
It's in process.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll be in the final report.
It doesn't affect the actual action that's happening on the property, but it would be nice to know
Yeah,
What
the
you might
progress
find.
of the house.
right, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Because forewarned is forearmed.
Yeah.
That's all. So, all right. I don't have anything further. So, I'm gonna take a crack at a motion.
Let's see, which one are we on? This Ron Winters is listed so many times, it's like he's the only guy working in town.
Good enough, Ron.
In the case of 011505, Ron Winters for Michael Welch for archaeological monitoring of installation of trenching and fence drain at 409 Canyon Road. I move that we approve it as presented.
Second,
Moved and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, Ron.
Yes, sir.
Ready for the next one?
I'm ready. This is,
Case number 2025-11512. Ron Winters, agent from Mario Laranaga and Cartwright Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, and applicant requests approval of an archaeological monitoring report for the installation of approximately 270 feet of subsurface sewer line at 410 Old House Highway in the historic downtown archaeological review district. Thank you for your staff report, Paul. Anything to add?
No, Chair. Thank you, sir.
Be right back. My pedantic jive of your earlier mention in the earlier thing about refuse pit. This indeed, there is a refuse pit, but that's a small part of the larger entity, so it's deposit and a refuse pit within the same. Thank you. All right, Ron, what do you need to add?
a couple things. This was a fun project because I had been there before. And I had expectations of what I might find, and it certainly did. First, a correction and then a comment. In section 7 of the site update form, I intended to put the depth of the deposits, and I had 1.XX. It's actually 1.13 meters deep. I have to, this is just too good. I have to comment on, the Ellis, article, in El Palacio, when he gets to the 12th day of this event. And, Chief San Juan of the Mescaleros, who I show a couple images of in there, said he would have had more of his people to attend, but some of them were out fighting the U.S. Army. And there they are. You see the Mescalero, camp, and there he is. But the rest of the warriors are down south. But I love that. So again, I'd worked in this area. I actually, this is so close to where I'd worked before. I had, like I said, great expectations, and sure enough, it was there. And I think the reason, we don't find a lot of whole bottles, because it's usually trash and they're broken and destroyed. And I think the reason I found them before and I found them this time is because this event went on for a few weeks, and so they're accumulating all this trash. They basically just walk across the road, dig a pit, or and discard it and then cover it. And so that's why I think you're finding complete bottles, which is exciting me, because you have the information then to give dates. And I mean, these deposit fit exactly with the time of the event and the type of refuse I'm finding. Liquor bottles, champagne, beer, wine, a big porcelain, plate, that kind of thing, ink bottles. Because if you look at that one illustration, number 10, there was every manner of people representing agricultural, mining. When I had found artifacts in the first time in this area, I found some crucibles. So somebody was in the tent, was doing a little assaying or something with these small crucibles, of some of the minerals. So it was interesting. Rarely do we find something that is that exact date that you can pinpoint, this deposit to this time period. And that was exciting to be back there again. That's all.
Remember that.
Again, oh, I know, here's on page, I don't know which, 96 and 97, where you're showing the lot outline. It's not clear on, figure 4. It just doesn't it doesn't match up to figure 3, and which one's north.
Is this in
It's the vignette,
John's
yeah,
report?
John's report.
Yeah.
Vignette of the, Sanborn map.
Okay.
It makes more sense if you look at the next page. But then which lot? I know there's 2 lots, and it's just looking so clear by this diagram for me.
I'll have to ask you about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Because one lot was the highway. Anyway, it didn't quite track with what I read. But I'm sure it's because the highway was moving, streets were moving, and
yeah, I know that was the case.
Right.
The alignment.
And Sanborn maps and notorious for having little insets with things that are totally cattywampus to the rest of the
right.
page.
So which one is north? And yeah. That's all I was wondering. So,
Okay. No, I'll ask John about
and
that.
he's probably put it north up. Would be my
I
guess.
would imagine, yeah.
That's all.
A nice convention, always putting off. Member trees.
I didn't have any, I mean, I enjoyed the chief's comment.
I knew you.
Good, great. Fun.
I had to include some pictures of him too. Yeah, I found a couple.
Well,
I mean, it was interesting just seeing that there was this big exposition over on that side of town at some point in the 1880s too. I mean, I had no idea.
Well, a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah.
You know, I find, but no, it was promote statehood essentially, but basically, you know, Santa Fe and Southwest and you know, it didn't come till 1912, but you know, they got national press and you know, it's
They were
really,
waiting for the railroad to come through though, right? I mean, that's
Yeah,
why they
yeah.
fudged the
that's
dates
how
a
they
little
got
bit.
Budweiser from St. Louis here in 1883. Because the first time I got there, I found a complete, you know, aqua bottle glass, Bud bottle that C. Conrad and Company Budweiser.
40? It's 40.
Bigger than that. But Conrad and Company was associated with from 1880 to 1885. And that's why you know, there it was.
Yeah,
You know, yeah.
That's it.
Well, I was looking at around the site, there's the Ortega House where Santa Cafe is, there's the cemetery. You know, these are all the video, corral. I mean, it's pretty safe on. I think you can see that.
The shell of the federal building was used as a dormitory.
Yeah, but the native people that were there, you know, and they're Navajo and Apache, all the Pueblos, the tribes, they did a temporary roof, you know, to, and, you know, mock battles and guess who won, you know. But,
That's Buffalo Bill
yeah,
on his Wild West show.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, I've got a few things, Craig.
Okay.
One of them's not your fault. Okay. Is anybody else missing page one?
You know, I asked that too. And even on the print out here, it was off. So we may have just had a flyer.
Oh, is
Sure.
it this page one?
No, it would be one before it. I noticed that too. There was
There's one of the Wilford.
something happened.
Is it, member trees, do you show it there on your digital?
I don't know what are we referring to as page
The
one.
very first.
The NIAX.
It would have been on the NIAC or because it jumps to what?
17, it's under 17.
Oh, mine starts at, I have the memo and then I have a report from interest investigation abstract one. So that says
That would be
digital on
Digitally, the
mine.
whole thing is there.
Does it say two?
There's two on my PDF, yeah. And
So it's
it
missing
says
one?
page one on the bottom corner, bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
It too.
We're missing that one.
So
So
apparently digitally it works, but the paper.
Yeah,
That's your page 39, Ron, PDF page 44, I think. It's your illustration, figure 10, or excuse me, figure 10, feature 1. Is that interesting pattern and artifact of the backhoe bucket? The big
It's actually,
squirrel.
it's actually both, because if you look at my drawing, the hand drawing, and it's that same form. And you can identify, look at the two rocks there that were in there, and then look at them in my drawing, and you see that, I mean, it was a little strange when I got down in there, because I saw that, but so it is an action of the backhoe, but it is also what was
That's where your
physically
dirt
there.
goes, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm sorry. see how this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and if you look at my drawing, David was asking, is this because of the action of the backhoe, or is it the feature? And it's actually
Well, and the backhoe seems to smear the feature of
Yeah.
But thank you for pointing out the rock. That was my next question. The rocks I see are sitting in a neat little opening. Did you create that little opening?
Well, I did poke in there with my trowel to make sure that there.
Because I was wondering what the opening was, because the opening itself doesn't appear on any.
No, that was
Just assume that was you probing around.
exactly. Yeah, that was a trowel probe. Yeah.
Okay. I must confess that going to and from that part of town, that was part of this, at least was during baseball season. When I was very, very curious about all the piles of dirt on the other side of the wall. And wondered who, what, when, where, why.
Oh, yeah,
Now I
no,
know.
yeah. They didn't, the problem is they didn't backfill immediately, but I actually went back, a couple times after rains. And I do that. I'll check the back dirt to see if anything else turns out. Yeah, and a lot of times it does. You can't catch everything. But, no, yeah, I was there during all the excavation. Yeah.
Okay, we are ready for a motion.
In the case of 0-11512, 270 feet of subsurface sewer line at 410 Old House Highway, I propose you accept the report as presented.
Okay.
Moved and seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, all.
I'm gonna open a museum to show all those bottles.
Yeah.
We give it to the museum.
Does the museum want all those?
You know, I was thinking about that, especially, you know, it's an important event, and, you know, in the history, and I think maybe talk to the History Museum and see if they do a, you know, special exhibit, you know, just a case on this, what happened and what, you know, the evidence, you know, what was found in the aftermath.
I think it's certainly worth pursuing that.
No, that's a good
You've got
idea.
some great examples, and folks see the real thing.
Yeah.
Little busted bits that.
No, I think that's a smart idea. I will definitely, you know, approach them with that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Next up, case number 2025-11514. SWCA, Agent for Public Service Company in New Mexico, TNM, requests approval of an archaeological monitoring report for the installation of approximately 2,584 feet of subsurface electrical utility lines along Calle Mejia and Viento Seco in the suburban archaeological review district. You have your staff report, Paul. Anything to add to that?
No, Chair. Thank you, sir.
We have a presenter waiting online who have to be unmuted, identified, and sworn in.
Did you hear that, Robin?
I did.
Will you please state your full name and address for the record?
Robin Cordero, and address 2101 Dorothy Street Northeast, Albuquerque.
Do you solemnly declare and affirm that the testimony you have in reference to this item shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, and do this under the penalties of perjury?
I do.
Thank you very much, sir. Chair, be sworn in.
Thank you. So, you have the floor. What do we need to know that you haven't already said?
I think this one pretty much put everything that we did in there. As of right now, there's no expectation that they're going to go back in and finish the project. So The area between, or the area within the apartment complex, is not going to be done. So,
Okay. Committee member trade.
but that's it.
Robin, are they changing from poles to underground, or are they just upgrading underground?
So based on the work that they did, they were installing underground. Well, actually, I mean, there were no poles. It was all underground, all boring.
So they're upgrading the service that they already have to the place? These are
I
not
believe so,
new
yeah.
apartments.
They're not new apartments. They're existing apartments. They're just putting in new conduit and running a couple new lines through it. So
Does I guess I don't understand why, if you put in underground, they put in new underground conduit and cable, right?
yes,
Okay. I'm just curious for construction purposes, not archaeological purposes. I would think that there may have been existing infrastructure that they could already use instead of putting in new, but you know, maybe not. Maybe it was too old and not suitable.
there was quite a bit of existing infrastructure all throughout the area, but I don't think that they had existing conduit large enough to run the two lines through. Is the problem.
Okay. Poor planning on somebody's part. Thank you. That's all I have.
Yeah.
Member Beck.
On figure 4.1, I don't see an arrow where it says this is where our site is. And I can kind of put it together, but
Let me get to that figure here.
What page is that?
48 in the PDF.
Almost there. Okay.
And be confident. No.
Oh, yeah, we are missing an arrow.
And so.
I don't have anything, Robin, so we're gonna go to a motion.
We want to make a correction on that lack of an arrow. Do we want to put that in the motion?
So you can say with correction. He'll be glad to do it.
Probably already done it.
Because we so amended. In the case of 011514, the installation of a monitoring report for the installation of 2,584 feet of subsurface electrical utility lines. I move that we accept with the correction of an arrow showing you are here. We accept the report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you, sir. Case number 2025-11515, Westland Resources Incorporated, agent for Public Service Company of New Mexico, E&M applicant. Requests approval of an archaeological monitoring plan for the installation of approximately 2,352 feet of subsurface electrical conduit lines along West Tia Road, Condolero Street, and Quemado Street in the River and Trail and Suburban Archaeological Review District. Thank you for your staff report. Paul, anything to add?
No, Chairman. Thank you.
We have a presenter, will have to be identified and sworn in.
Will you please raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record?
Jeremy Levin, 12353 Tierra Volcan Avenue, El Paso, Texas, 79938.
Thank you. Do you solemnly declare and affirm that the testimony you have in reference to this item shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, and do this under the penalties of perjury?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, he's been sworn in.
Jeremy, the floor is yours. What do you need to add?
There's been no changes to the design, so I have nothing to add.
Number three.
Two, questions similar to what I asked Robin. Is this a service upgrade? And the infrastructure that was there wasn't suitable, or is it coming down off poles and we're replacing the poles?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be like a new loop, still a new line.
Okay. And once again, for my purposes as a not knowledgeable person, you say in your, if you find a burial that, you know, I want to just circle back to what I talked about with the applicants. You said your company, is that right, has a burial permit? And is that the way that works? The company has the permit, or an archaeologist has a permit?
For the state,
confused.
For the state, a company has permit and lists persons to fulfill that function.
Okay.
And the state register of qualified folks will specify who specifically is qualified to do those things.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the company that has permits in the state. People are also qualified. So it's two layers.
Right.
And for us, we, by ordinance, require that people have actual archaeological permits from the state, but we also require that they get listed with us. That's why there's a difference between a state listing and a city listing, and we get into the weeds on certain things that you've heard us talk about.
Yeah. Okay, that was a question I had, is if I needed to get listed with Santa Fe, even though I'm listed with the state on the SHPO directory. I do. Okay.
It would help,
Okay.
but you know, you could always just bring somebody who is listed with the state under your supervision to do anything that's necessary.
Oh, well, I'm listed with the state for human burials.
For burials? Okay.
Yeah, just not with the city. That's why I was wondering, I need to be listed.
We don't have a separate listing for burial.
Okay.
There is some talk about doing something, but for now. no.
Okay, so I'm covered for now.
You're fine.
Not that we expect you to find anything.
I hope not. That's always the
You
goal.
never know.
I know. Never know till you take.
Don't place your bets.
Yeah.
Okay, very true.
Anything else?
That's all I had.
All right, member back.
This is a question for the archaeologist.
Which archaeologist?
Question as opposed to my expertise or more of my expertise. So you're boring all of this, but you expect, because of the location on the shoulder of an arroyo, and you would, and based on what we've already found in those areas, there's going to be more to find. But if you're boring, then you disturb it before you see it. Right?
It's true.
And so why are we boring and not trenching, or I just, because you're next to an arroyo, it's not like you're out in the middle of a field. Right?
We're close to an arroyo. I mean, it's not exactly next to the arroyo, but it is an area with probably like pretty high archaeology potential.
Isn't that road, what's the map?
If you look at figure 3, there's a good area with the project area. So, page 4 from the people.
Like that.
I guess that one doesn't show the arroyo.
Well, you can sort of infer
What
where
did
the
I,
parts of it are.
what did I
Hmm.
saw it? Maybe it was in the
Yeah, figure one, you can see it on the topo map.
later aerials. So,
Yeah, that would be appendix D. For this story.
so you're right, it's not, I was thinking it was more on the arroyo right there.
Your point about boring archaeology is well taken. We fought that fight for 10 years.
Oh, here's one.
We won't be able to
It's
undo.
Arroyo de los Chimizos,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the scale is huge. Okay,
We won't be able to undo what has been done. Boring is now apparently the go-to means of doing everything in small diameter installation, especially if it's flexible. And so, bad as it might seem, if you're in an area with high archaeological potential, just bore holes through it, we're stuck with just looking at
what comes out?
the start and end pits, the pull pits, the vaults, whatever goes along the alignment as our little samples of potential archaeological record. It's much less desirable than a trench, but it is what we have.
And is there a mechanism by which you're boring along and you're monitoring it in real time? Isn't that correct?
We will.
Yeah. Then if you see something, you stop immediately and then you look where the bore is.
Well, hypothetically, but let me just say, I have never seen anybody see anything coming out of the boring discharge.
Got it.
I never have you there.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It's
Like,
it's
yeah.
fly,
pretty much this is pit.
and it's been ground to bits.
Cause it's just going in. All right. Thank you.
If, for instance,
Hmm.
it went from reddish brown to black, that would be a good reason to
Yeah,
stop.
very true.
Probably just plowed through a pit house.
Mhm.
But those kinds of stark differences would be very rare. And especially since if the boring machine is 100 feet in, it's got 30 seconds to do a bunch of mixing before it comes out, and you might never see a color change that's detectable. It's seldom day and night.
Very true.
But you set up my question, if you.
I'm finished. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your depiction in figure 3, and you're putting that depiction on the figures in appendix D. It shows an alignment and it shows some points, and by looking at the detailed engineering drawings, I can sort of infer what some of those are, but I'm wondering, are there actually more points of opportunity for observation than depicted on figure 3?
Yeah, they're up to 9 splice pits will also be excavated along the line. They don't know where those are going to be yet, so that's going to be up to the contractor. One of the reasons will be out there the whole time, so they're going to excavate a splice pit. Will be there, and also if they hit something that they can't get through with boring, they may have to switch to trenching. That's the reason they need this out there the whole time too. So yeah, so there will be more opportunities, at least a few to 9.
The only other thing, my ongoing pet peeve about PNM's engineering drawings. I know not everybody means well. Here's what we're doing, but inevitably, we get 3 sheets out of 185, and it almost never includes legend. What does all this symbology mean? So can you slap them upside the head and make you give them a legend? So
Yeah, I'll request that next time for sure.
You know, don't worry about it. It's just,
I can't guarantee it, but I'll definitely try.
it helps in reviewing. Be able to understand what all the little jogs and symbols are.
Mhm.
To give your discussion of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it a content. So that is all. And I did notice that somebody in P&M is very fond of the hummus. Because it appears on the engineering drawing.
Oh.
As a little star that says hummus.
Oh,
It's still there?
Oh, it hadn't been there for many, many moons. But hummus plant, a little star.
That's
Historic tidbit.
So we're ready for a motion.
Yes, sir.
In case 011515, Westland Resources Incorporated, agent for Public Service Company in Mexico, I move that we approve their request for an archaeological monitoring plan for 2,352 feet of subsurface electrical conduit.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
wonderful. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Sorry to make you wait.
I enjoyed listening to the meeting.
We're already.
That's informative.
Savannah Gray, case number 2025-11516. City of Santa Fe Water Division applicant requests approval of an archaeological monitoring plan for approximately 2,024 feet of subsurface water main pipe along Cerro Gordo Road in the River and Trail Archaeological Review District. Thank you for your staff report, Amanda. Anything to change?
No, Turek.
Thank you, ma'am. Stephen,
Thank you.
what do we need to know?
I would just like to attest as a student from the University of New Mexico that during my studies there, we were encouraged to use all of our senses to do archaeology, including, but not limited to tasting the morphology. And so just wanted to mention that there. I believe that's a famous Bruce Huckle quote.
Tasting
To taste the morphology. And I, on a number of cases in Peru, have used that to determine the difference between caliche and bone as well. The first thing I want to say is that in this report, there is a reference to the Dempsey Pump Station. And I came to find out that in 2019, the Dempsey Pump Station was demolished. And so it is no longer there. And I think because it was the previous report from the Water Division, this was before I was there and before I believe Paul was there. The Townsend report that did document the Dempsey Pump Station listed it as a property with no significance. And so I think the demolition went through without any further concern for archaeology or anything like that. Other than that, I have a couple handfuls of corrections that I can submit to Paul and maybe don't need to go through each one or.
Do you think they need to hear individual correction?
I don't think any of them change the meaning of the report or sentences. Just. Yeah.
Proceed.
That's all.
Okay. Member Becker.
I don't think you had any comments on this one. Let's see anything.
Okay, you can always redirect. Number 3.
I didn't compare this. We have some electrical conduit or something going through the last report or last month.
Cerro Gordo region.
Yeah. So Cerro Gordo's getting their work over.
Streets is coming through as well.
Who?
The City of Santa Fe Streets Department is going to be doing work, and so it triggers Steven's gonna do all the subsurface work and then they're gonna come in and do the street.
That was actually the water division's reason for pushing this up the list of pipes that need to be replaced, is because we'd like to do them before the paving for streets goes through, so that we don't leave a big patch.
And it's a 20%.
Doing something twice.
Well,
we're good at
don't
that.
put it past us
We're
to do it
redundant.
twice.
We're
The
redundant.
city also actively seeks to discourage cutting holes in brand new pavement.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the big
That's a big
reason for doing that.
We talked earlier about neighborhood notification. I just feel like, especially when there's not a lot of options to move around. This isn't quite a half mile's worth of digging up of the street and everything, but boy, you sure do keep people from becoming enemies by letting them know you're gonna
I will
make things impossible for them.
I will run it up the chain, as they say, about neighborhood notification. But like I mentioned, there's usually an approved traffic plan that, if followed, can make it easy for the residents to.
And Bill's good about that.
Yeah.
Is the plan to finish over on Garcia before you start this one, or?
I wouldn't imagine that this project starts until sometime in spring or later. And yes, the work on Garcia Camino Monte Sol will be finished hopefully by the end of December, early January.
That's great.
Wow, they're almost done, so. With the exception, as I mentioned, of the bits in front of the school.
Construction stuff, not archaeology stuff.
But I'm fascinated.
Same.
Outside in.
I'm looking at the world in a very pragmatic way, and we need that grounding.
Yeah.
And same thing with manufacturing. He sees this stuff from a whole new perspective that archaeologists in their little brain don't necessarily notice. So,
true.
Thank you, Doug.
I'm done. Your turn.
I already went.
You already went? You didn't.
So I just have one pet peeve. And it's purely editorial, and you can tell me what your editorial style guide is, and I can shut up and leave you alone. But normally, north is up on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper.
Right.
And if it isn't oriented that way, and page is oriented this way, north is up. All of your landscape images are totally round, so it just seems a little odd.
They're north is this way.
Yep, north is to the right and south to the left, and that's cattywampus from one style guide perspective. Tell me to shut up and leave you alone, and
We'll make the revision. Yeah.
don't change it. Just think about it next time.
Oh, that's my fault, so I'm the one that put all the things in there, but I can do it the right way next time.
Thank you. Motion?
In the case of 011516, City of Santa Fe Water Division, requesting approval of an archaeological monitoring plan for 2024 feet of subsurface water main along Zaragoza. I move that I approve the application presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Great job,
Thank
Steve.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good job, guys. Item 8, administrative matters and communications. Paul, Amanda.
We have the 2026 Archaeological Review Committee hearing schedule. We had initially came to the committee and asked if we could change the week that it's done, and then it was determined that we are going to go ahead and keep it on the 4th Thursday of the month. And if there's any questions to the calendar that we have, if you can make a vote on it, so we may reserve the space for the next year.
So Chair Rec, members of the ARC, Currently, we have it on the third Thursday. So what we're asking for is to move it to the fourth
It's
Thursday.
the fourth Thursday, I believe.
Currently, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
fourth
it's
Thursday.
the fourth Thursday. It's the third Thursday this time because of the holiday.
So we do it on the
The fourth Thursday.
fourth or Thursday.
It's gonna stay the same.
Yes.
Instead of
Correct.
change.
Yes.
So please bear with staff because staff has the HDRB and the ARC in 1 week, and it's a lot. So
If it's on the third.
we were trying to move it to the third, but we cannot. So we're gonna keep it on the fourth. But please bear with me and staff as we muddle through that.
Because HDRB is on the second and fourth.
Yes, correct.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Do we have any changes to the calendar?
Could we give them until the next hearing to look at it?
No, we actually need to get it to the clerk's office.
Yeah.
Kind of like first come, first serve
Okay.
for these spaces.
As written on the agenda, it doesn't have the look and feel of an action item.
It's put under administrative matters and communications, but it was actually put in as an action item in the civil clerk. So it is an action item. It just doesn't have the number to it. If we can make an action for it, that'd be great.
I move to approve the 2026 hearing schedule as presented.
I have, before we do that,
Mhm.
is, so let's see, this is November. So we've moved November up and December up. Is that correct?
Because of the holiday.
Because of the holidays?
Yes.
Um,
And I believe the 2026 is the same for those holidays. Weeks would be moved up.
okay.
Because the fourth Thursday is Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now I do have a second item for staff communications. Last night at the governing body, everything was approved for the ARC code update, except for the utility mains. The question, you saw the email chair act, the questions for the rivers and trails in suburban remain the same as the current code. And we will re-approach that on phase 2. And then the downtown got moved from 60 feet to, from 50 feet to 60 feet. Is that correct?
60 to 50.
Mhm. And then if we could have more community engagement for that section for phase 2 is what they asked.
All in favor of community engagement, but I will state categorically on the record that I never saw any actual effort from the folks presenting this stuff to the several committees that were formed to be advisory. Have what amounted to meaningful engagement.
Good.
I felt like I totally wasted my time on said committee.
2
On
years.
the whole thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
2 years.
I don't think that you're alone in that.
2 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And no substantial change.
I do also believe that everything for the ARC was publicly noticed, so the special meetings and the special hearings and everything was publicly noticed. And
I think
as
that
well.
it was the utility companies that wanted to be invited to the table.
Well, it was an open table.
Yeah.
Everybody was invited. It's a public meeting. It was not behind the closed doors.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the problem lies is they want to do these pieces by pieces and pieces instead of being, held responsible for the whole thing through.
We will get there eventually.
That's all from
And
staff.
if I have to bake cookies and make coffee to drag people in for public engagement, I'll do
I'll serve tea.
it. That's an alternative. Green tea.
Yes, good honey.
Okay, anything else?
That is all, Chair.
Okay. Committee, y'all have anything we need to bring up? If, for instance, one was going to be absent, it'd be nice to know so that we can go ahead and schedule things for
The 18th
I'm here.
here. That advice to be.
Perfect. Thank you. And we are working on, another archaeologist. We should hopefully have that lined up very soon.
Cool. Working on bad connotation.
Yeah.
Be gentle. We need two.
Yes, but we've got the one coming in. We are,
Zero.
you need to.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Next meeting is December 18th. And we have reached the end of our agenda. Someone want to make a motion?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.